we've been recording each other upon times, and we've had a lot of conversation that haven't been recorded. And we've consistently said that the first 6 lessons or 2 essays of the Lost Tools Level 1 are foundational. And in that is that 5-sentence rudimentary essay that is the green for everything to come. And in those first 6 is also the sorting lesson. Let's talk about that one.
About sorting?
Yes. It says it's as foundational to the whole arrangement of the essay, of our thinking, as well as our homes.
Which is the place to start, because students can understand that. You start with something that they understand very well, sorting Legos or sorting gel pens, or, there's all sorts of things that our students, our children are sorting. So they know, they understand the concept. Because we're sorting ideas, it's more abstract. It requires more practice.
Mm-hmm. But
start with what they know.
I'm sorry, what?
I start with what they know.
Connect it to what we know. Yes.
Because they have an analogical knowledge of how to sort, because they've done that in other areas.
Mm-hmm. So Camille, how would you describe sorting to us? Act like April and I've never done it.
Well, we start with our finished Annie from Invention.
Okay.
Which means, and we'll start with only one column. So if we start in the A column, then we have a list of items in the A column. Mm-hmm. And they will remain separate from the ones in the N column. So we need to we look at the first item, give it a little mark so we remember what we're on, and then ask if that goes with the second item. And if not, we ask if it goes with the third item. Does the first one go with the fourth item? Does the first one go with the fifth item? Does the first one go with the sixth item? Does the first one go with the seventh? And we'll do that all the way to the bottom. But the first time that we say the first one goes with the third one, yes, we need to ask why. This is
why they go together?
Why they go together. Mm-hmm. If we say this one goes with this, we need to say, why do I think that? Mm-hmm. And write it down. Mm-hmm. So then we'll mark both of them. They'll be in the same group. And the why, the reason they go together, is the name of the group. Mm-hmm. So if I put a chair and a table together, and I say why, they're both furniture. So now I have a group name that's furniture. And I can check now, is the fourth item a piece of furniture? Is the fifth item a piece of furniture? Is the sixth item a piece of furniture? Is the seventh item a piece of furniture? Mm-hmm. Because if we don't do that, we don't name it right away with its common characteristic that is the genus that encompasses both of those items, then we can say, I put the chair and the table together, and those go in the same group. And then I'll say, oh, look, here's some shoes. I'm going to put them in the same group because I'm thinking those two go together because they're furniture, but the shoes go with the chair because they're both brown. And then I say, but then I get to the next item, and I've got a chair and a shoe and a table. And so, like, who knows what might get added to that pile? That sounds like a bonfire starting to happen. Uh-oh. So, but if I say they're both brown, then all the rest of the brown things go in there. Then if I say they're both furniture, then all the rest of the furniture goes in there. So that helps us keep our thinking organized, because this sorting will show us our patterns of thought. But we have the, so anyway, we work to the bottom of the list like that, saying and finding everything that goes in the first group. Then we go back to the top of the group and find the first item that's unmarked. Give that a little mark so we can hold our place, and then check, does this item number 2 go with number 6, go with number 7, go with number 8, go with number 9, go with number 10. And as soon as I find one that does, I'll say, yep, these two go together. Why? That's the name of the second group. Okay. And then we'll do that until every item in the Annie is in a group. But you might have one left over. You know, when you clean your room, you have a group of books, a group of clean clothes, a group of dirty clothes, a group of papers, a group of pens. And then you have the pink ceramic elephant that Aunt Edna gave you. So that will not go in a group with anything else. It's one of a kind. So if it's not in a group, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So that brought to mind a question parents might have of naming the why I put together. Because you did it with furniture, and I was thinking, okay, well, with ideas, I found one and went down the list, and it goes with number 4. So why did I put these 2 things together? I put them together because it was mean things the stepmother did.
Okay.
So that's the name of my group, right? Yeah. Mean things the stepmother did. So now I go, mean things the stepmother did. Is that this one? Is this something mean? Is this something mean? Is this something mean? Right?
If she did it, it's probably mean.
Now I have a nice group of mean things.
Right. And then you might do mean things the first sister did and mean things the second sister did, or.
Right.
But
and
yes, sorting ideas is harder.
If I don't use, because I learned it a different way years ago. It helps so much to use the name of the group to find what goes in it.
Yes.
And that may be different for some parents. They may not have heard it that way before.
Probably not.
But that is one of the most helpful things about what you just described, this way of sorting. Because like you said, if I just picked out some mean actions and I put them all together and that's what I labeled it, I've got a group of mean actions and they do all go in the same group, but I might have 12 things. One that one stepsister did, the other stepsister, and the stepmom. Those are 3 different groups, or they can be.
3 categories. Yeah.
How much should parents stress about how the student names that group? Because the parent knows that name's going to turn into a proof. So how stressed should the parent be?
I think not stressed. I think hands off and let the student see this is self-correcting. And they do this a few times. They'll say, wow, that group name I used 3 weeks ago, that was kind of dumb. I'm going to make this one better.
Yeah.
So you just have to let them see that for themselves. They'll see it if they keep looking. You just have to let them keep looking. Practice.
I've even had mine realize it at the elocution phase. When they go to put it in sentence form, then they say, this doesn't work. And they've written me and asked, can I change this now? Do I have to go back and change my Annie and my template? No, you did all those things to get you to this point. And now it's okay to see and to make some adjustments.
Because that's when you should be thinking about how something's worded. In Annie, you don't. Even when you're sorting, it doesn't matter the wording. It just means you're just categorizing the ideas. And I think when we're teaching sorting, because this is the most difficult intellectual skill in the book, it relies on lots of defining and comparing and good judgment and logic. When the first time we teach it, I found it really helpful first to do it like, with candy or something, Legos, that they can physically sort. Or in my online classes, I ask them to think about what they do when they clean their rooms. First, they pick up this and then they put it there. And then what do you do next? And where do you put that? And what do you do next? And where do you put that? And then to give them a list of concrete items that's easy to sort. It seems like I'm always near Christmas. And so when I get this always makes me think of Christmas time. But I give them, so I generate a list of things that are all mixed up, but there will be 3 food items, 3 Christmas tree decorations, 3 other kinds of decorations like a wreath or a garland and something like that, and give them this thing all mixed up and have them use that process on a small list of items that are very concrete so that they get the process in their minds before they get confused by the items that they're processing.
And a fun one that I've done in an in-person class is I brought my junk drawer.
That's a good way to get your drawer cleaned out.
Dumped it out and said, okay, sort. And what was fun is
great.
We did it more than one time, and so that they could see that John might sort my junk drawer one way and Katie's going to sort my junk drawer another way. Nathan's going to sort my same junk drawer a third way, and it's all sorted.
That is very important to remember. At the end, it's all sorted.
Right. They'll sort differently.
With candy, I've seen them do it by ingredients or by colors of the wrappers or by favorites, but they're all legitimate ways to sort. They're sorted when they're finished.
The good ones and the bad ones.
Yes.
Like these are the good candies. These are the bad candies.
And I've learned in a class with a group of students, you might want to have just one student take the first pass of the column. Well, because there are strong opinions about, no, that is not where I would put that. That goes here. So everybody can practice, and it really, that's just a practical tip for time-saving purposes. If you teach a class, let one student make the pass and another student make the second pass.
Right. And the first time I do it, the first column, I just say, I do it all. This is how I'm sorting it. You would do it differently, but I'm just going to show you one example of one way to sort it. And so I just do it all by myself. And then unless I get stuck, and then I say, where does this go?
You're providing the model.
I'm providing a model before I ask them to do it.
Yeah, or engage it.
Or to participate even, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to distract from what we've said, yet April, you mentioned, what if there's 12 things in this one group that you see? There's really like 3 groups in there. And so Camille has taught me that if one of my students has over 7, so 7's good, right? Because 7 is the complete number. So if there's 7 in the group, we're good. Once you get more than 7, more than likely you have 2 groups in there. So go ahead and resort them into 2 piles.
Right. Like you might get a big pile of shoes at home and then you can sort them into his and hers. Or you might get a big pile of shoes and say, these are the inside shoes, these are the outside shoes. Mm-hmm. Or you might get all your shoes together and say there are 7. That's a problem. And so you can add to the group. You can go say, oh, let me look in the I column and see what else I have that goes here. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excellent.